Hey everyone, I thought I would just post this video to let you guys know what's been going on. I do have tutorials coming soon. It's just, my life has just been one thing after another. So my mother's in a hospital, and this is the third time she's been in the hospital in less than a week. She got a diagnosis of COVID and RSV, and she also has acute asthma. And with her acute asthma, that's something that she's always dealt with her whole life. That's something that's kind of a normal part of my life because my mother was always in the hospital. So I called the paramedics Wednesday around 1 a.m. Paramedics arrive, first responders arrive. When I spoke to the 911 dispatcher, I gave all the information to the 911 dispatcher, informed them that my mother was diagnosed with COVID, just to try to be courteous so that way if there was a paramedic coming first or first responders, they would know that they're going to be dealing with somebody who has COVID and, to have their mask and stuff ready. First responders arrived, and there was a miscommunication somewhere between the 911 call and the information that was being transported over to the first responders. When they arrived, they did not know that they were dealing with someone who had COVID. That was the first thing I let them know. So it was just the whole energy shifted. So one of the first responders went to the fire truck to look for a mask, N95 mask. The first responder that went over there could not find a mask, and then the second responder went over to find a mask, and it took them about 7 minutes to find a mask. And then I knew it took a while, but I didn't realize it took that long until I went back and looked at the security camera footage that's on my mom's house. So when they came in, they put the pulse oximeter on my mom, and you could hear her wheezing really loud from her having asthma. The first responders did not administer oxygen to her. They didn't do anything to try to give her any kind of comfort. They just told her the ambulance was around the corner, and they would be there soon. So the ambulance is coming from a town that's pretty far away because apparently they were really busy that night. So the paramedics came, and they were really awful. So my mom was telling them, like, nobody will help her, nobody will treat her, nobody's listening to her. So now she's been transported to the hospital, and she's been admitted. So she's been struggling like all day. She struggled all day yesterday. So last night, or this morning rather, around 2:30, I get a phone call from her, and she's telling me that she's basically just being ignored by the staff there. And when I spoke to her, she could hardly breathe. You could hear her wheezing like really loud into the phone. Like, it was just really scary. So I asked her, I said, well, what time did you ring the bell? She said, I rang the bell around 1 o'clock when the nurse that's treating me came in and just looked at me, turned around, and walked out. So a whole hour and some change went by. So I called up to the hospital and informed them that I was my mom's oldest son and wanted to find out why is she being neglected because she has asthma. And I understand the staff is busy, but when a person has asthma, you can't just have them sitting there for like over an hour struggling to breathe, especially if, they were diagnosed with COVID and RSV at the same time. So I spoke to the nurse and, was passive aggressive to let her know that I am, watching what's going on. So we had one doctor tell my mom that she has COVID. Another doctor tell my mom she doesn't have COVID. When she was discharged before this hospitalization, like 4 days ago, they put on the paper she has COVID and RSV. So now, at the same time, we're trying to figure out how she get COVID because we've been really, really careful about making sure we wear a mask. And anytime I go to my mom's house, I try to be careful, when I do go to my mom's house. So anytime I'm feeling sick or whatever, I always put my mask on. When I go out in public, I put my mask on because I don't want to contract anything and bring it back, anytime I go to my mom's house. So anyhow, so I went back and forth with the doctors and the nurse and asked, does she have COVID or not? Because we're being told one thing or another. The nurse said that she had COVID and it's no longer, but she is testing negative for the COVID. So apparently at the time when they tested her, she was at the tail end of COVID. So now the things that she's dealing with now is like that long haul thing from COVID. So she's going to be in the hospital for like another 5 to 7 days. I'm just, dealing with it. I'm just taking a moment of time because I'm overwhelmed with things that I have going on with my own personal life, and then being a caregiver and trying to make sure that my mom is okay. It's a lot. Plus me in school and trying to focus on my schoolwork. So, I am going to be posting a video soon. This is as you can tell, I'm trying to talk and make sense, but, it's just really overwhelming right now. But guys, if you have a loved one in the hospital, stay on top of it. Make sure that your family members are not being ignored, especially if they are elderly, because elderly people tend to get ignored and brushed off and treated as if they're senile. And you just have to really just make sure your loved ones are okay. But I am going to be posting some videos soon. I am right now testing the machine. I have a Brother PE535 embroidery machine, and I'm going to be doing some embroidery tutorials as well as some sewing tutorials on my Singer Featherweight 221. So please just hang in there with me, and I appreciate all you guys being so patient. And I know that I try to make commitments, and sometimes I don't really always fall through, but it's because I really have things going on in my life, and I just rather not upload and tell the world about what I'm dealing with, because YouTube can be a nasty place. But I will be back with some tutorials soon, I promise. Thank you all so much for your love and support.